and welcome Paragoners. Here I have a Steel Jungle match for you, and this match is a wild one. This was the sweatiest match that I've had from the stress test, and it's a bizarre one, as you'll soon see why. I don't want to spoil it just yet, but it was absolutely wild. So we're starting off with the Steel Jungle, who I feel is a very good jungler. Maybe not the best, but Steel is a lot of fun to play in the jungle for many reasons. And we opt to go for red buff here. I believe Steel can also start off at blue, but we see 3 enemies invade, and it seems like it's a full 5-man invade, and it's just pure chaos at this point. They're closing in on our Faye, who didn't quite escape. Now, I think I missed a stun there, unfortunately, but my team got the Drongo low. I'm starting to wail on the Faye, doing some damage. Their 5-man invade, they all went down, and I opt to use my blink there, simply because there's not going to be any kind of aggression for the longest time. Oh no, actually, the enemy howitzer didn't invade, so it was a 4-man invade there. So it was basically I believe it was a 4v5 situation, and as you could see, we came out on top with 4 kills and they only got 2. And for me, I got 2 of those kills. In regards to just my start, not necessarily my team start, as a Steel Jungle, that's like a dream come true, basically. It doesn't get much better than that, starting off getting 2 kills before you even get your first big boy buff. Now, I know I have a bit of an advantage, but I don't want to rush. I'm just going to farm jungle camps, and I back for my Brimstone, which is a sub 3-minute Brimstone, which is kind of insane. It's really kind of insane. And this is going to help our jungle clear immensely. The Fire Blossom is obviously an item that you want to start off, that you want to rush. Either Fire Blossom or Hellfire for every jungler, but in this case, since we're Steel, we choose Fire Blossom. And the enemy Chimera is being aggressive for some strange reason. I don't know why. The Howie helps put us up there. I should have went after the Howitzer there. I don't know what I was thinking. The Howie was there too, and we could have probably easily gotten him. Wow, the Chimera might actually get away. So now I see the Howitzer, and I want to close on him, and I get the double stun there. We confirmed the kill on the Howie. And then the Chimera leaped in, oddly enough. And then we get the Faye. 5-0 by 4 minutes. Let me tell you, this never happens. Especially as a Steel. Goodness. This is probably going to happen in less than 1% of all Steel jungle games. Yeah. It's an insanity. Insanity. Now, although I'm doing quite well, if you take me out of the equation, in regards to the team's kills, they have doubled our kills. 6-3. Plus, Steel isn't like a Kallari, where the scaling would be kind of insane. having this kind of advantage as a Kallari, you would just be attacking them over and over. But here we have a 5 minute and 5 second Fire Blossom. Insane. Absolutely insane. And now I know I have a significant advantage, but I want to be patient. I want to carry that advantage into the mid game and hopefully the late game. So especially since we just got our Fire Blossom, we want to utilize it effectively by just blazing through the jungle at this point. Just because it does so much damage. The Brimstone does something like 15 damage per second, and then once you get Fire Blossom, 77 per second. So we see the Fae here, who doesn't have a great escape. She has a ward, most likely by us, and I opt to just check out their jungle. I'm actually hunting the enemy jungler because I want to run into him, and since I don't find him, I'm just gonna end up stealing his camps. And I want to gank now that I have my ultimate. So we give the right lane the signal that we're ganking, even though I accidentally pinged that it's left lane. Completely whiffed that ultimate. Oh my goodness. That was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. I felt like he was going to be quicker, or he was going to walk faster, but unfortunately what should have been a guaranteed 2 kills turns into no kills. But luckily he went back and we somewhat salvaged that situation. I mean, we got the carry, which is something, but all in all, a pretty pathetic gank on my part. It's rather sad, especially with how much stronger we are. But now I want to try to alleviate pressure in the other lanes, so I'm trying to make my way back to mid lane. The Fae started to push up, and the Fae blinks away, which is good for us. I mean, that's her blink down. I didn't do such a great job, but those kinds of plays where they blink away, I should be taking like mental notes or something. So he blinked. Oh, he tried to save himself with the mine. Nice slow mine positioning. And we're gonna get him. Unfortunately, did they get the Chimera? I'm not sure if they did, but so heading into the mid game, we're doing okay. Not as good as I would have liked. We should have completely stomped the enemy dual lane, but all in all, we're just gonna continue with our game plan. Try to farm jungle minions. Unfortunately, we stole the enemy Chimera's minions and he stole ours, so that does suck. And our next item that we're gonna go for is an item that I believe is designed especially for steel. It's like the steel item. It's called Dynamo. The art is these gloves, and if you read its effects, you would think that it was tailored to steel, because it has energy shred and extra energy damage, and it just works so well. So, especially if you apply that energy shred to the team, like via your ult. Oh. So I don't think they realize how much further ahead I am. Like his hits, and I got caught on the wall there with my ult. 0 for 2 there. The worst ults ever. So the Fae just blows everything on us, and thankfully we were just so tanky that we were able to withstand it. But the Fae got the double. And that was scary. That's a scary situation. And I wouldn't have left them, but I was really confident they were going to kill the Fae. And the fact that she turned it around at this point in the game, I'm thinking to myself that it's danger. The fact that she turned that around kind of means that, you know, the Fae is really, really strong, and she has the potential to, I wouldn't say take over, but impact the game enough to tip the scales to her team's favor. Whereas maybe at the beginning of the game, I was tipping the scales to my team's favor. Now the Fae is imposing his or her will and doing the same. And it's kind of, it is partly my fault, especially since my ganks and my ultimates have been terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think it would be a different situation had I landed those on. I don't think I know. It absolutely would be. So now I recognize that, okay, this is a bit of an issue. The Fae is getting bigger and bigger, and I want to focus on her lane. So we want to gank with our ultimate just about to come up, and the Fae very, very good. She's very aware. We slow her down to try to catch up. Get the stun off. Get the ult. And we don't get the kill, unfortunately. The Howie was farming in the mid lane. I wish the Howie was a bit more aware. But it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. And this Chimera, 3 levels below. Oh, I whiffed this stun there. I don't think the Chimera understands how much further ahead I am. And you guys saw the healing there from the boots. You know, the legendary item that I got from my crest. I popped it at a great moment. I took a lot of damage from the Chimera and steel, and if they don't have enough damage to finish you off before the healing kicks in, you just bounce right back. It's probably the most competitive item out of that crest. It's insanely good. It is, you can seriously turn things around. And now we are about to complete our Dynamo, which is going to give us a significant damage boost. Well, I tried out this item. I ended up loving it. I ended up loving it. It has, I'll put it up on the screen here, but taking magic damage, I believe it's when we take magic damage, we do AoE damage around us. And against a hero like the Fae, where she's constantly throwing harvest nettles at you, there is, you'd be hard pressed to find a more potent effect. You're gonna see it in action in this game, and I was surprised how well it worked. The Fae had the gray buff. There's no chance that we can even catch up. I already see how strong the Fae is at this point in the match. The Fae player on the other team is doing a really good job, and I know the Fae is behind me. Oh, I missed it. Unfortunate. But wow. Triple. We got the triple stun there. And I did pop my war boots, but the Kai was able to finish me off before the healing kicked in. But all in all, I think... Oh, no. Please get the Fae. Please get the Fae. Please get the Fae. Oh, he's done. Well. Faye is continuing to just flourish. Absolutely flourish. But now we're gonna have some resistance against the Fae, because that's the most potent threat at this point in the game. Absolutely. The most potent threat. And we're with our armor, we are going to, once we complete this, we're gonna, our damage is even, it's going to increase even more. I can't wait to see it. I forgot that I built this item this game. This was the first and only time I built this item during the stress test, and I really like it. I wish I played more games. This was actually my final game of the entire stress test. Nice, we got the steel there. And I'm level 11. I have a lot Fire Blossom and Dynamo, and oddly enough, no team took Fangtooth this game, so I decided I was going to. Oh, and I missed the stun because the Fae had the gray buff. Unlucky. If it was any other buff, we maybe could have killed her, but yeah, just the Fae has just played this so well the entire match. So unfortunately, I only hit one enemy with the ult there, and I had to blink out because the Howie was hunting me in his ult. And I think I die here, yeah. I shouldn't have committed to that there. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, honestly. But that fight would have been different if the Rampage was with us. So I'm not really sweating it. And he's doing a good job pushing on the left tier 2 tower. So I'm at this point in the game, I'm still fairly confident we're in a good spot despite the Fae dominating. And a lot of that is because our solo lane Rampage has just been farming for the most part. And when he joins the fight alongside me, it's going to be quite potent, because I'm super tanky, he's going to be super tanky, and our initiate is better than theirs. He actually ults. Wow. He actually ulted. That was weird. I got this stun off first, but he is pelting me, and I finally land a ultimate. Finally. Only took 20 minutes. And because I landed it, it was simple. And I see the Fae here, and I'm just like, okay. It's like all or nothing. At that point in the game, it's just kind of like, okay, it's I gotta be the tank. I didn't want to go in and die, but I had to be the tank for the team. Just because I'm the meaty one there. And if this item that I'm building right here, Crystalline Curious. If I had that item, I probably would have killed the Fae, because it just, you guys will see, and I'll point it out when it happens, but the way that it works is, I think it has like a 2-second cooldown, 2 or 3 seconds, and every time you take magic damage, you do an AoE, and it's the hero in the game that I imagine is it's like an item that you want to get for the Fae, because there's no better hero to use it against. You know, with her Blossom Plant, you could probably get 2 procs with 1 Blossom Plant. And not only that, her Harvest Nettles, obviously. So here, they both gank. And then I see the Fae coming up too. And it was pretty close. At this point in the game, I'm pretty impressed by their coordination. I believe that the enemy team was a 4-stack. Yeah, Crystalline Curious. This item. Now things are gonna change. Things are gonna change. And this is a very impactful item, especially with this the state of this game. But I see Fangtooth is still up, and you know, like that jungler. You know, like as a jungler, you have a responsibility. It's like bothering me that we didn't get a single one yet. And now I believe this is where the Fae finally goes down. A nice proc there to buy herself some time, but finally, the tyrannical reign of the Fae has come to an end. And with that, that's my cue to secure the first Raptors of the match. I'm fairly confident that they have a ward here, but I'm still going for it because I believe in my ability. If the Chimera comes, I could try to stun him at the appropriate time. And their team shows up. We secure it. And they're chasing me. The Fae is gonna go down. It's not a fight that we want to take. It's like 2 versus 3, 2 versus 4. And the Rampage. The Rampage again. I'm not worried. We secured the objective, and Rampage is farming. So I'm pleased about that. I think I respected them a little bit too much there. I definitely could have gotten at least a shield slam. Not shield slam, that's an ultimate, right? The right click. And now that their Drongo is coming online and the Chimera is kind of catching up to me, I decide to go for the item Stonewall, which is it's one of the best tank items in the game. I cannot believe how useful it was, and along with the boots, because the way that Stonewall works is once you reach a critical level of health, which I think is like 25%, you release a shockwave that stuns enemies for like 1 second, 1.5 seconds, I think that's a duration. And when you use that in conjunction with your war boots, that 1.5 second helps to buy you that time for your healing to kick in. It is such a good combination, and I cannot fathom how effective it was. It was phenomenal. This game, oddly enough, is the items that I chose, the itemization throughout every point in the game was in my opinion my best of the entire stress test. Oh, good blink, and I of course with yet another steel ult. How? I gotta be legally blind. How? It's half the screen. Just land the ult. And so the steel he ults me, which I don't mind. He didn't have to blink.
Allied tower under attack.
I would rather him ult me than the howitzer there. Yep. I knew the Fae was gunning for me, and utilizing that wall is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's a very underrated ability, and you can really make a huge impact with Steel's wall. Really, it's pretty awesome. So we got now our stone wall is complete. Now our stone wall is complete, which is big. That also helps with physical damage reduction, and we are at this point, we are not only tanky, but we do decent damage because of Dynamo. And what I'm looking for at this point in the game is to get a good 3 to 4 man ult so I could apply that energy shred and initiate for my team. That's what I'm really trying to fish for. I haven't really been farming the jungle as well as I would normally like to, just because of the chaos of the game. And our last item that we're going to go for is Void Helm, which is, it gives us a bunch of HP, magic armor, and I picked this item because with going against the Fae, she hits you with a lot of energy abilities, and you know, by default, the way that her harvest nettles work, she wants to be hitting you and hitting you and hitting you, and the Void Helm works perfectly in that situation. So we ult on the Drongo because we just want to take him out. He's not a big threat to us by any means, but to the rest of the team. And now the Fae doing a phenomenal stasis to avoid the stun, but it was not enough. And then here we go. Howie blinked out. Yeah, wow. I can't even believe it. And Chimera is tickling us. We're not really concerned. Oh, but the walking into the mines was foolish because the Chimera wasn't going to kill us, but walking into the mines and having him hit us could have, potentially. But yeah, I opt to just until we completely finish the item, I opt to go for even more magic armor. Just because now Howie is kind of online, and we got the steel also with the magic damage, and of course the Fae. But Rampage has been just farming the whole game, pushing the left lane, and in spite of that, we've been holding our own against them 4v5. So since we even did damage to their inhibitor, and we are stabilized, I'm feeling really good about this at this point in the game. That we're ahead 1 kill. We're about to secure our second Fang Tooth. They're rotating over, but Drongo is coming back from the base, and with Rampage here, things are looking good. Now we got the out of combat movement speed, which is big. It is a very nice buff. The steel is out of position. And I just wanted to damage him, and I see the Fae, and there's no way I'm not going after the Fae. At this point, it's like you pretty much have to. And me buffering out the Fae basically allowed for my team to kill the other two. And I ult out of the steel ult to also hit the Fae. And it's rather unfortunate. I probably shouldn't have done that. That's just like, I like to be aggressive. I didn't really want my team to follow up to go under the tower, you know, just because of all that tower damage. And I was already low enough to where I can't stay and tank it. And so they basically kind of even out the kills in that fight, unfortunately. So a rather unfortunate outcome, especially because the phase survived, but all in all, it's somewhat even still. Still somewhat even. So yeah, this match was really, really intense. I'm happy that it was my last one as well, because it was one of the most fun matches. We check Orb Prime. Orb Prime is not being attacked. I just need another 80 gold until I finish my Void Helm. So I want to put a little beat down on the enemy Steel, since we're a lot bigger. We're 6 levels ahead of him. Him being the support, you know, that should be the case. Rampage is pretty low HP. Oh, but he killed the Drongo 1v1. Very nice. So now we have our Void Helm, which gives us magic armor and health regen upon taking magic damage. So we're full build. The only other thing that we would get is the health tonic, and I finally land what is it? My second ult of the game. Wasn't ideal, but I was worried about the Howie dying, and I at this point it's kind of like we just have to secure, like, even if it's one ult that if it's an ult that only kills one person, it's worth it. That tips the game in our favor. And the Fae on our team during that took out right inhibitor, which is phenomenal. So we want to take Orb Prime now. It would be ideal. So I'm also shoving this lane. Because I don't want them to feel comfortable moving out at all. And having a tower would embolden them a little bit. So now the whole team is here. This is like... I'm really happy the way that the team came together here, because it was necessary. Orb Prime, you need the team, especially the carry. And then the carry's not attacking. As I say that. But yeah, that's the thing. To just DPS Orb Prime is super tanky, and you need a carry that's online in order to make it happen. And then this part confused me. The Drongo is backing, and I was perplexed at what just happened there, because the Drongo was backing when we were all running up on them, and so it's kind of a situation where I think, like, did he not look at the mini map, and was he like looking away and taking a bite of a sandwich, and he was like, oh, okay, nice, I cleared this lane, and I'm just gonna back. Let me take a bite of my McChicken. Well, whatever it was, it's gonna cost him an inhibitor, most likely. And the Howie ults. Oh, but he almost got the Fae. And watch this body block. Watch this body block. Oh, okay, never mind. That was not a body block. I did body block there. Trash. But we got the Howie. We avenged our teammate. And unfortunately, we didn't get the inhib. We did not get the inhib. I thought I was gonna body block the missile there, like from like, you know, in those action movies where you take or somebody takes a bullet for the other person. That's what I was trying to do, but obviously it didn't work. So the enemy team scatters, and I want to utilize this Orb Prime buff against this inhibitor. and I throw the wall to discourage abilities hitting the minion wave. And I really, really wanted to get the inhib, but I had to blink out because Orb Prime is too valuable to lose. It's just too valuable to lose, especially when you have over a minute of it left. For just with all the regen and how much stronger it makes the wave, and yep. Boom, the Fae goes down, and that's gonna be game. Get the fuck out. And that was the most intense match of the stress test for me. And I mean, from the wild 4-man invade to just the rest of the match, it was a 35.5 minutes of back and forth, intense action. And well played to everybody in this game. 89 kills of total with both teams. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome. One of the most fun and sweaty matches of the entire stress test for me. Well, guys, that was Steel Jungle. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider following the channel for more predecessor content. And if you guys have any other heroes that you would like to see, I still have many videos recorded. Let me know in the comments which hero you'd like to see next. I have Belica, the Fae, Howitzer, Feng Mao, among others. You just let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful day.